WIKY was a recipient of the annual Service to America Award from the National Association of Broadcasters. Only 3 radio stations in the country receive it every year. The awards gala was held in Washington, D.C. Indiana Senator Todd Young sent his regrets for not being able to attend, but invited us to his office for a visit the following morning. Our Service to America Award was given in recognition of our annual Veterans Day breakfast at the Evansville Wartime Museum. Senator Young is a former Marine, and we started by inviting him to the breakfast.
Sounds like a great event. I'm always looking for opportunities, especially higher profile ones, to recognize our veterans and to let the people of Indiana know that this should be a priority for our state and our nation. And, it's a time of war, so it's especially important for us to recognize the generation that has served so that others will be inclined to serve themselves in the future. So count me in as long as it works with the schedule. We'll take a look and see if we haven't committed to other things previously, but let's definitely get moving on it if it's going to be possible.
Awesome. Yeah, it's every November 11th, and rain, shine, but we do it inside. It's terrific. We used to do it on board the LST 325.
Oh, wow.
And the older veterans had a tough time getting through the companionway.
That's really a fascinating history. In fact, I've been talking a lot about LSTs these days. I like to remind people that Indiana is not only a coastal state, which you understand well in the Evansville area, but Indiana is a shipbuilding, a vessel-making state. And we got a great heritage there, and we're trying to revitalize our shipbuilding enterprise here in Washington, D.C., and we think Indiana could benefit a lot from that. Indiana and Kentucky, those workers who want to come over and participate will be welcome also.
Awesome. Well, with the Mount Vernon port of call there, it's one of the largest on the rivers, and yeah, that's great news. It'd be great. Not to mention what's happening north in Hammond, about a mile from my mother-in-law's house. Come on.
Go Bears, the Hammond Bears, right? How exciting is that? Who would have thought just a few years ago that Indiana would be home to not one but 2 NFL teams? And now there's all sorts of chatter about other teams looking to Indiana for relocation. I could cheer for the Indiana Blackhawks or maybe the Indiana Bulls or what have you. So, we're a great place to do business. We have loyal fans. And Illinois has some work to do. Let's just put it charitably today with respect to welcoming various business enterprises. Yeah.
I don't think anyone was more surprised than me. I can't believe how Illinois dropped the ball there. And I've got a lot of relatives in Chicago, and my father-in-law is spinning dervishly in his grave. But I think it's terrific, and it's a perfect spot for it.
Yeah, it really is. The mayor, Tom McDermott, I know has done a lot of hard work up there. Our governor at the state level, our state legislature, really a great group of individuals, business friendly. So, this kind of thing takes a team effort. And it's still not a done deal. A lot of people think this is the best head fake in business history, so it could be. But the job in life and more specifically in economic development is to take some big cracks at the ball, and eventually you're really to mix metaphors in my sports, you're gonna hit a home run, right? But I think that's what's happening here, and let's hope that we close the deal in coming days.
While you have the recorder still going, maybe he'd be willing to read that on the audio.
That's why he's the president and CEO of Midwest Communications, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get down to business. Well, I thought it was important that we recognize WIKY for its excellence, for its reputation, not just in the community, I've come to discover, but nationally. So I wrote this letter. It'll explain what it's all about to your listeners. But to the WIKY team, congratulations on receiving the Small Market Radio Award from the National Association of Broadcasters. This recognition is a testament to your hard work and commitment to serving Hoosiers in Southwest Indiana. The Evansville area benefits from the news and entertainment you provide, and I wish you all the best as you can continue to do great work and uplift your community. Your friend in service, signed Todd Young, United States Senator.
We also asked the senator about anti-corruption efforts he's spearheading.
You know, there's a lot of distrust right now, understandably, to my mind, of institutions, of government leaders, of our federal government especially, and more specifically of Congress. And there have been a lot of members of Congress who aren't doing their jobs or are doing it poorly or are doing it in a way that invites suspicion. I always learned at the Naval Academy and in the Marine Corps that the job of a leader is to avoid the appearance of impropriety. And you do that by creating rules and conditions for yourself that don't lend themselves to questions about, like, self-enrichment, for example. So I have prioritized, to get our own house in order right now, I've prioritized banning members of Congress from trading on inside information that they're exposed to over the course of official business. Believe it or not, members of Congress can and do trade a lot of stocks right now. I think that should be disallowed altogether, probably applied to members of their direct family. And then furthermore, I would ban members of Congress and some others well-placed in government from engaging in futures bets on our prediction markets. I mean, we saw recently there was a special operations officer in the U.S. Army who was betting on when we're going to go to war or not, and which is offensive. He had closely held information about that, and we don't hold these positions to get rich. We hold them to serve the American people, and so I want to ban swamp trading, to put it in a more accessible way, and we're going to get this done in the next couple of years. It will take some work. There's a lot of resistance behind the scenes, and getting a lot of positive feedback from Hoosiers about this.
Absolutely. Now, do you have bipartisan support on that?
Not yet, but I anticipate we'll have it. There's a lot of good and ethical people up here, in addition to some bad apples, and the objective is to sort out, weed out, or ferret out those bad apples who oppose this measure, which is commonsensical and public spirited. And how do we do that? Well, you introduce the legislation, you make the arguments, and you create some constructive discomfort among colleagues who might have resistance to these prohibitions.